Good morning, evening, or afternoon, everybody. It's Kaghoe coming at you with another video. So today I'm going to be covering all of the new Phase 8 PTR changes that I've sort of discovered, gathered, and seen from community people telling me all sorts of awesome new stuff. So the biggest change that we saw was the new quest line here at Lightsoap Chapel with Leonid Bartholomew the Revered right here. I did the whole video covering that new quest, new trinket one, so definitely check that one out because it is really exciting, really cool. I actually even enjoyed the story. It kind of made me think that they were diving into like the plague that's used at the Wrath Gate and its origins, and it was really a really awesome quest line, so definitely worth checking out. And those new trinkets are pretty freaking powerful as well. So that is the first change, and I will link that video down below if you have not seen it yet. But the next thing that we're going to do is head over to Tiers, and I'm going to show you a few new things there, so I'll see you when we get there. Alrighty, so the next biggest change is to your Scarlet disguise. So previously you could use the disguise anywhere. You could even go into Scarlet Monastery and you could run around there. I tried to talk with the bosses, nothing happened there. Kind of weird. So if I try to put it on here, it says you're in the wrong zone, so you have to go to where it says Tier's Hand, and then you can put it on, and it now makes all of the guards friendly with you. So you have to have the 4 pieces on. You cannot take these pieces off. You cannot do anything with that. If you take any damage, you will lose it as well, so beware of those dogs. They were quite obnoxious, but the dogs do not come until you get all the way up to New Avalon. I've explored all of Tier's Hand, and I have not seen anything new. Even the Shadow Bear, even glitching inside of it, nothing really new. It's just the cathedral with the mobs in it as per usual. So I'm going to head up into New Avalon, and I'll show you when we get there. Voop. So, as we ride into New Avalon right here, one of the biggest things to note is this Suspicious Soldier PTR disguise vendor. He will just sell you a Scarlet insignia, so you do not have to do the quest chain to get it, as well as he will sell you the recipes for all of the gear, so you can copy it over and go ahead and make those. So awesome to get the Scarlet insignia without having to do the entire quest chain. That'll be a huge time saver in the future. I can just sort of send all these to my alts and other characters I want to test certain professions on and stuff, and they can just have a disguise ready to go. So big W there. Then the next thing is all of these guards are at the gate ready to fight you, and it is quite intimidating and interesting that they added a lot more. And then if a dog hits you like this, they will all come and hit you. And an important thing to note is that they all have about 32,000 HP right here, and they are hitting much harder. They hamstring, they do all kinds of stuff, and they can be very, very difficult to get away from. As you can see, this place is littered with bodies from people trying to just get away and run. So very similar to what I'm doing right here, right now. So just be aware, these guards hurt a lot. The watchmen will attack you as well right away. Those patrol with the dogs. Before, the dogs would aggro, but the watchmen wouldn't aggro right away. It was really weird. But that brings us to our next place, which is the town hall. Now this is really cool, and I think this number is actually changing and actively updating. So here's Mayor Quimby, which is really cool because this is the same mayor in Wrath of the Lich King when you do the starting zone for DKs. He has a little sweat-stained speech that I'll read in another video, but something really cool. But I want to show you guys this craftsman ledger, and they meet and talk about equipment. And what's really cool is it said 160 pieces of equipment were donated, and they review the helms, shoulders, chest, wrists, hands, waist, legs, and feet. And it makes the most sense because wrists were pieces that are the easiest to craft, so this really could just be adaptive. The total number doesn't make sense because this adds up to way more than that, but I think it could be something really cool that they have added and stuff. I don't know, but just really interesting ledger that I didn't know of or notice. But it has to do with the quest that I showed you for the tier with the Scarlet Junk Box, and that quest is confirmed 100% to be a weekly quest. So really awesome to know that. And that inn, or the town hall there, doesn't play music when you're inside, which is very peculiar. But anyway, I'm going to show you the next thing, so I'll see you when we get there. So just to highlight how much more dense this place is, we have guards fighting on both sides of the citadel here, training, just so many more. There's like 6 or 7 outside this area as well, a bunch on the side here, and there's obviously a few more bloodhounds being obnoxious that you want to run away from. But all in all, just a lot more mobs, a lot more dense, and definitely more powerful. So this brings us to the Enchanting Tower, which I wanted to highlight something real quick for you guys. So I showed you one solution that I knew of, and so there are multiple solutions to this. So you need to run through and get red, and essentially the entire thing is to get red and blue and make the violet coalescence. If you can make violet, you are good. And now, you can look up a color wheel if you don't know, but it's been a while for colors, but red and blue is the only combination of the crystals provided that is successful in making violet, and you have to run over here and do this. I've been able to make an orange crystal, I've been able to make all the other kinds of colors, but I just, you can only make violet with red and blue from the given combinations here. So then you can enter this tower, and then there you go. You don't have to do the other steps that I showed in that video. And then another important thing is the 4th moat is actually up and working here inside of the Enchanter's Tower. So I showed you guys that the moat was broken. We were unable to get to it last time. I did in fact come in here before this was filming to get that final moat, which gave us the enchant, the last enchant that we needed, which was of the Arcanist right here, of the Grand Arcanist. And so I'm going to learn that, and then I will show you the recipe, or the materials for that right there. So they brought it all the way to the top, and it says permanently enchant a 2-handed melee weapon. So often when striking with a spell, it restores 350 to 450 mana and increases spell power by 140 for 20 seconds. So the new orb is right over here. They brought 2 onto this area, and then you can just go and get this mode of possibility here and right over there. Instead of having the 2 that were at the top here on the 4th floor, they moved 1 down to the 3rd floor and had that one there. And these were still depleted here on my character, so it's just the new one moved to a different location that I could access, and it worked like a charm for me. I would highly recommend that you do not get caught when you are here, because if you're not quick, you will get zapped and die, and I would just recommend running out to the entrance for the Enchanting Tower. And then that brings us to the next location, which I will see when we get there. So down here on the PTR, we have a lot more mobs, and we have Captain Bloodcoin, the seafaring auctioneer. So if you have the disguise on, it just is an auction house, a neutral auction house for you to use. I did not see this guy here actually when I tested coming down here, so I don't know if it's like a time-based thing, if it's every hour, if he's just here sometimes, if someone maybe killed him here. I have absolutely no idea, but he is a neutral auctioneer guy, which is really awesome to see. Your disguise works for all these EC dock workers as well, not just the Scarlet people. And then down here in the basement is still these fish barrels, which I have absolutely no idea what service they have, other than maybe it's a training dummy, which would be really cool to have in Season of Discovery. But for all I can tell right now is that they are just fish barrels. Here's me blasting them, popping all cooldowns, full blasting it, and even when it gets to 0, it does not, it just goes right back up. So really interesting. The fish debuff doesn't go down either. I genuinely have no idea what that is used for, but it does break your disguise if you so choose to hit them, so just be aware of that when you're encountering these mercenaries afterwards. So pretty cool stuff. Like I said, no idea. I plan to do the everything with fishing and cooking here in another video, so maybe I'll discover what it is used for then. But until then, I will see you at the next tip. Voop. Alrighty, so very interesting stuff over here is, instead of this just being aesthetically pleasing, they actually turned this anvil here into a repair station. I don't know if it's meant to be like that or anything like that, but just really cool that it has some practicality on it. I made a small comment saying I have no idea what this area is for, but it looks cool. So nice to see that that anvil is added, so it actually has function as well. But the next thing I want to show you guys is that the going into the forbidden zone is definitely forbidden now. This little trick doesn't work as well. However, there are other ways to go into the forbidden zone here. But as you're about to see, the further you go into the forbidden zone, the more they are to knock you out. Well, unfortunately, that debuff slowed us down quite a bit, so we have to suffer a little bit here. So we go all the way up. I had heard rumors that these mobs also dropped more righteous orbs, but from my own testing, it does not really feel like that. I got about the same amount of drops after killing 50 of them as I would in the other one. So another way to get into the forbidden zone as a mage is to come right here, and then you press blink. And now we get to run over here and go explore, but when we go and do this, they will detect that we are in the forbidden zone, and it will teleport us out back to Light's Hope Chapel, and we will go falling kindly of Blizzard to not make us fall to our death, but you know, you fall a pretty high amount to deal about half your HP, so like if you do it again, they will kill you. But anyway, now I'm going to show you some very interesting Farsight tech and some stuff we have discovered there, so I'll see you when we get there. Voop. Alrighty, to kind of illustrate where we are above the Scarlet sort of enclave building that we have tried to break into and do a whole bunch of stuff with it there. I went into it a few more times trying to get further, trying to get deeper, trying to find stuff, and there really wasn't anything in there other than what I showed you in it looking like the Scarlet Monastery. However, it is just kind of, I think, decorational, and what we did find later on was those screenshots I shared with you were actually all the way over here. So we were farsighting to this mountain, and then you just go to the mountaintops, and you keep hopping to the mountaintops, and they were actually right over here where this massive dragon statue is. And now what is very, very interesting is I guess they were not happy that we found that, because it is completely gone. There used to be some holes here, and you could go deeper into them, and you could see a few more screenshots of like jars and things added to it, as well as the sort of looks like Harad's room, but it's kind of new statues and a whole lot of other things that are added to it to make it look really different and really cool. It could just be the Alpha Scarlet Monastery build. I'm not 100% on that. I don't know enough about the Alpha of WoW to really determine that. But this really big dragon statue that they added, they decided to leave right here. So really cool, really scary, just a giant dragon statue that I don't really know where it originates from in Classic, to be honest, but it looks really cool, that's for sure. And yeah, so those are all the changes I have found. As you can see, like, the ground is shaped here, and as you can see where it was for sure, that something was here. It was sort of like what they do. They kind of just put it somewhere outside the map and mess around and play with it. I've tried to get under the map and see more, but I was unable to as well. So anyway, guys, these are all the changes that I've discovered. I plan on doing a more in-depth fishing, cooking, and engineering guide probably in the coming days, and that will hopefully show you everything that we've discovered in New Avalon. I am just so stoked for Phase 8. Like, even though Undead Paladins and Dwarf Shamans were kind of like, I really wanted those and kind of let down, as well as the word Culminate. If this is what we're getting, I'm super stoked. It is super in-depth. There's so much more content, and if Karazhan Crypts as well as this are what we have to look forward to in the next project, whatever it is, Classic Plus or another season, I am beyond happy and excited for whatever it becomes of it, because this has the groundwork for something that looks really, really amazing. So anyway, guys, I truly hope you enjoyed this video, and until next time, I'll see you later. Have a great day. Bye-bye. Hey, you. Yes, you. Are you still there? Well, I appreciate you for taking the time to watch this entire video and making it to the end here. If you enjoyed this video, definitely check out the other videos about World of Warcraft listed in these playlists down below. And thank you again. Have a great day. Bye-bye.